This is your host, Jonathan, at RockRose Film. We have Slap5 Customs here. Mr. Phillip, how you doing today?
Very good, how are you?
Excellent. So what we want to do is compare RockRose Film to our competitor. Here, what we have is 3M Ceramic Nano Plus, and we have some of ours, which is equivalent, Nano Ceramic Plus. They're both 20% VLT. And so what we're going to have Mr. Phillip do here is he's going to install the 3M film, he's going to lay it down and work his magic. And then what we've asked him to do is just talk out loud. Tell us what you see, what you're feeling, and then we'll move on to RockRose Film, and he's going to give us his honest feedback on his thoughts. So let's go ahead and get started and knock this out. You ready, Mr. Phillip?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Let's rock and roll.
Okay, awesome. This is the 3M here. As you'll see, they do have a marking on here that you'll have to take off after install.
Oh, interesting. So they put there's some type of like logo thing on there?
Right, yeah. Okay, right off the bat, I can feel that it's a thicker film, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's all personal preference.
And so as you're spraying that, what is that you're spraying there?
So this solution here is just gonna be water and baby shampoo.
Okay.
It's what we use to install every window with every tint.
Pretty standard from what you know.
Baby soap would be the standard, I'd say. There's also a few companies out there that make their own solutions. But you can never go wrong with baby soap.
Yeah, 100%. So what you're doing is kind of filling it out so you see if it needs to be shrunk. Is that what you were saying?
Right, that's right. Doesn't look like this one will need to be shrunk at all though.
Now, how do you know? Is it just kind of by touch? Is it kind of like you feel it on the inside, you know, kind of gut instinct, or is there something that shows for if it needs to be shrunk?
Right, so you'll see what we call fingers popping up. There'll be kind of spears that'll just pop up on the side that needs to be shrunk. Here we have it laying flat, so we should be good to go.
Now I've seen some installers, what they do is like sometimes they'll have the knife like crazy long, some have it short. Is there a personal preference on knife length for you?
I tend to like to keep mine just about one click out. It just is a safer procedure for me, making sure we don't cut anything on the customer's car.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah.
You're installing 10 and now they got a big scratch, you know?
Exactly.
That would make them pretty upset. It's like, yeah, my tent looks great, but now I got a big scratch.
Right. Now I got to call a guy about that.
Yeah, right. Now, when prepping the film, do you prep? I know when you have your own facility, they'll prep on like a big piece of glass or maybe some plastic. How do you do that prep being mobile?
Being mobile, what we'll do is we'll use the window of the car as the peel board. So.
Okay.
All right. Now we got to get a chance to check out the adhesive on this 3M film. It's a very thick film.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. It's not, you know, flexing too much.
Right. Let's make sure we get them all lined up. I think that's looking good right there.
Now, as you're squeegeeing, is there a certain spot that you like to start with on the window?
Yeah, I'll always start from the middle and try to go out. You'll see I kind of do like a cross here and section it up into 4 corners. Just tackle them individually, make sure everything lays down nicely. And we'll give it 1 second pass to make sure we get all the water out.
What happens if you were to leave the water inside the film? What type of issues would you be looking at?
Usually, as long as you get most of it out, you'll be okay. But if you do leave too much water, in about a week, you'll notice air bubbles where the water has left just a huge air pocket. So as far as the color goes, I do like the color on this. It's a very dark film. Some films you'll get like a brownish hue or a gray or a charcoal. This one is very dark, which I tend to like.
Yeah, I know for RockRose, one of the things that we really locally have gotten request is to engineer our film to make it a true black. So that's one thing that we really strive for, is to make sure that it's a true black, like you said, not any type of weird different variations of a black, but a true black. And so that's one thing that we strive for in our film.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this came out great all in all.
Excellent. Now, I know you did mention something earlier. You said that with 3M, they do leave this kind of annoying logo on the film, which I'm like rubbing with my finger, it's not coming off. What are your thoughts on that?
Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I guess they do it for brand recognition.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just something else that I have to go through after the install is finished and take some alcohol and wipe everyone off.
Oh my goodness, they're everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of frustrating because you install and then you have to go back and mess with that.
Right.
That's kind of frustrating. Cool. So what we're going to do is move on to RockRose film, nano ceramic, 20%, same VLT as this film. So let's go ahead and grab that and get started. So we have the nano ceramic from RockRose. If you can work your magic, go ahead and install that.
Love the color on this film right here. Very true color, as you said.
Yeah, like I mentioned, RockRose has done its best to take feedback, local Houstonians, surrounding cities as well. And hey, what are you guys looking to, do with your window films? What are some improvements that we can make? And we're always trying to achieve for better results to help our window film business owners, installers do a fantastic job and just make happy customers and make everybody win, basically.
Absolutely, I can tell. Not nearly as thick as the 3M film was, which is, in my case, a good thing.
So you feel it's kind of like that perfect thickness, not too thin, not too thick. It's
right.
A little bit easier on install.
Right. This shrinks so easy. The 3M, I could only imagine how difficult that would be shrinking. This shrinks much easier and lays down very nice.
So how often do you have to clip the blade in order to keep it sharp? Is it pretty often, or what would you say?
I tend to clip a blade after every window, just
really?
to make sure it's still sharp.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you start to get bad cuts. A good blade is very important. I also like the thickness of the film. It lays well. I can tell it shrinks well. I already know it shrinks well because I've been using it for some years now.
So you'd say it's not too thin, it's not too thick, it's kind of a really good thickness. Just allows you to do your job easier, basically.
Absolutely.
That's good feedback to hear from our installers, so that's awesome.
Cuts very well.
Yeah, I know you mentioned color for the tint. That's one thing that RockRose really strived to improve and gotten feedback over time is a lot of the business owners and installers were like, hey, we want a true black.
Right.
We don't want any type of weird brown or gray or any type of weird other color. They were saying, a lot of their customers were saying, hey, we really love a true black color. So RockRose has worked very hard to talk with engineers and scientists to get the product that we currently have.
Yeah, that's awesome because this is what every window tinter is looking for.
Yeah.
Good color.
I can tell you've done this a lot. You've got like that technique.
Right.
I used to cook in kitchens, and so when someone's holding a knife or pouring sauce with a ladle, you can just tell they've got that skill, there's that finesse that they have.
Yeah, it comes with a lot of techniques. I really like this new Squeegee too.
A little bit softer, has a nice flex to it, makes it pretty easy to install.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
it extracts a lot of water as well.
Does it?
Yes.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have those, different symbols all over it that you have to afterwards go and, do it a bunch of times. And that's awesome how you love the color of it. Again, like I said, RockRose developed that true black color, and that's great to hear that you love the thickness of it. It's not too thin, it's not too thick.
Right.
3M was like really thick. You said that
thick,
might be
yeah.
hard to shrink. You said with ours, great thickness and easy to shrink, allowing you to just do your job quicker, faster, make the customers happy. And so we thank you, Mr. Phillip, for showcasing us the different films, the competitor 3M versus ours, RockRose film, the nano ceramic. So we thank you so much for giving us your insight and doing the pro installation. Hopefully everybody viewing, you got some good feedback on why RockRose is better. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.